If you feel capable of more in life and it's just not happening on the timeline that you want it to, there's a very specific reason for it, and it has nothing to do with discipline. I want to share 2 stories and 2 questions that are going to change the way you relate to your energy starting today. And the first story goes like this. I've been on LinkedIn since the very beginning. And then I started this YouTube channel earlier this year. And so for those first few months, I was taking my YouTube videos that I was making and I was repurposing them and putting them on LinkedIn. And my thought process for this was, I spent all this time making this video. I should spend just a little extra time and get it in front of this network over here that I have built over all of these years. But one day I woke up and I was like, I don't even really like LinkedIn. It's not really my vibe. And when people are on LinkedIn, they're often not in the headspace to do what you are doing right now, which is to absorb something with depth, with presence, and to do so with the intent to actually apply it. So that very day, I left LinkedIn. Now, this is going to sound like a really small thing, but here's where small things are actually big things. First, I never have to log into LinkedIn ever again. I never have to filter out another connection request from somebody trying to sell me some kind of lead generation for my coaching business. I reclaimed a chunk of my energy. Second, by stepping back from that energetic mismatch, I strengthened my signal here with you in this moment. If you can't feel that, you are going to. And number 3, the most important one. When you act on something boldly that aligns with your truth, that decision gives you power. And these little decisions of personal power, they compound. So my first question to you is this. Where is your equivalent of this example? What's something where you're putting your attention into it and it's energetically misaligned with you, with your wavelength, with your frequency? Pause if you need a minute to think about this. And now I want to ask you, what if you did the bold thing and you just reclaim that energy today? Okay, we're going to move on, but I have to say, if this is landing for you, that tells me something very specific about you as an individual. Most people do not pay attention to this level of alignment. You do, and that is not typical. So let's see what the second story in question has for you. So recently, I said yes to about 6 different things. And one of those things was this invitation to collaborate on a project with this guy that I used to know from my consulting days, who essentially got me to say yes by telling me that we could just spend like an hour or 2 a month on it. I said yes because I was thinking about time, not energy. When we think about things in terms of time, we often forget the mental and emotional cost that's getting siphoned into that thing. If you say yes to going to that party that you're not really that excited about, or you say yes to being a part of that committee with those people who drain you just because you feel obligated, those decisions are going to bleed way more of you than just the time that you're putting in. When I finally extracted myself from that project 100%, the very next day, I had some major creative breakthroughs. Not surprising, because that is how energy management works. Energy is not a linear thing. When you unblock these little fragments and you redirect them, they stack, they compound. It's like the difference between a light bulb and a laser. Both are just light. But a laser has all this power and energy focused in one direction that it can literally cut diamond, the hardest mineral on Earth. A good rule of thumb is, if you're not all in, be all out. So now let's get to my question for you. Is there anywhere in your life right now where you're half in and you could extract yourself from it 100%? Pause if you need time to think about this. The thing that I want you to take away from this is not trying to perfect this, because you're not going to. We're all human. But what I'm wanting to do is to get you to pay attention to how and where you are fragmenting your attention in such a way that it is robbing you of your potential, of your impact, and of your peace of mind. So pick one thing, one clean extraction, act on it, and notice what comes back to you immediately. Peace and love.